What's up, gym owners? Today we're going to be going through email strategy for how to grow and get leads consistently through your database. I'm going to show you some frameworks on how to do this one and how to write them as well. Now, for most studios, this is low-hanging fruit. Your email database is one of the most powerful ways you can get consistent leads, and especially if you've been for a number of years, this is an absolutely massive opportunity. And from my experience coaching gym owners, one that's done incorrectly or they haven't been taught how to do this consistently as well. My name is Peter Day. I'm a professional marketer with over 14 years experience. I've been running my own gyms for over a decade now and coached a few hundred people on how to grow their business through marketing and sales through the Apex Academy. And today, this is what we're going to go through in some detail. So make sure you stick to the end. I'm going to be going through the frameworks on how you can write this yourself, but this is going to be really valuable if you want to grow your business in 2026 and beyond for that matter. So let's get stuck straight into it. Email strategy. Through this presentation, we're going to go through how to get leads consistently throughout the year, building out a long-term strategy, because most of the time I see owners, they send just sale. It's not the way to do it. And how to nurture your database and still build your brand within this platform and within this communication as well. It's a really important one too. The problem, your sales emails are getting less effective. So if you're sending sales emails over and over again, you seem to not be getting too many onto your, into your studio, and you have thousands of people on your database who are not converting into high-paying clients or paying clients. This is a massive opportunity, especially if you've been open for a number of years. These thousands of people either live in the area, work in the area, have been members, have come in for a trial. This is a massive opportunity for you to actually nurture them and get them in there on top of your other marketing activities. No one has shown you an email strategy that works long-term for your gym until now. Now, I want to start off with this one, just showing you the opportunity and the power of email marketing. So I've been involved with media for over 14 years now, with a telco, with Optus, before I started running gyms as well. And I use the same principles. And this has been true for a long time, that email marketing has the highest conversion of any channel. That's not just fitness, that's across brands. Feel free to Google that and look it up independently as well, so you can verify that one. But if you think of you as a consumer, think about myself, I'll often see something on Instagram or see something through social media or whatever it might be, and I'll often actually buy through the emails. I actually don't buy as often through, Facebook or other channels. And this data here as well just shows some of the top channels too, email marketing being number one. Some other research papers I've seen puts it even higher up there as well. So I think also the nature of the platform means it's much easier for them to click onto it. Plus, it's much more targeted. If you think about emails, you send your email, you might get a 95 to 100% send rate, and an open rate can flip between 30 to 80, 85%. It just means a lot of people see it. Whereas if you post organically on social, you don't get a high amount of people see it. Also, just the ease of people getting into replies and things like that makes this platform really powerful, and you own the data. So we're going to be talking through how to nurture them too. So I just want to start by showing you the power of this channel. If you have a gym, this is an essential one, period. The other thing too, it makes your ads do better because the channels are not agnostic. In other words, when you have Facebook ads running, it's not that they see the ad and don't see anything else. They'll see the ad, they'll see your email, then they'll see your Instagram, then they might see you in person, for example. So these actually help the other channels too. Most studios do this wrong. If I'm just being honest, most studios do this wrong. So let's not be one of those ones. Okay, these are the most common mistakes that I say. Number one is the biggest one. They're not sending emails enough or at all. I've spoken to studio owners who just don't send emails. And I think that is an enormous mistake. If you want to grow your business, this one for me is just such a no-brainer. Or they just send it occasionally. This should be a high frequency. The higher the frequency, the more likely they are to buy if they're sent correctly. You're only sending sales emails. If the only emails you send are Black Friday sale, Easter sale, Christmas sale, Mother's Day, and you're just doing sales emails, they just switch off to it. I know when I get emails from other companies, well, if it's just sales, you get switched off with it. If you're watching this, you probably own a group training facility. It's a premium product as well, which means you don't actually compete on pricing. You should compete through your service and building a brand through emails. I'll show you how to do that in this presentation, but just keep that in mind. There's no structure, just kind of doing it differently each time. You're not nurturing the database or building the brand. I know this isn't sexy, but this is so crucial for long-term success. if you're locally famous, as in your name, not your brand, not F45, not another brand, you, as in, so for me, Peter, are known in your area, you will sell more. That's a brand. It's a personal brand. So don't lean on HQ for this one. Feels corporate. I don't know about you. I've got a very, with our studios, we want to feel very much a part of the family. I don't want to feel corporate. I want to break that mold. And you're not building the database list over time. This presentation doesn't go into that one, but that's really key. And it's actually a really good thing outside of selling to have long-term success. All right, I want to introduce this concept because this actually is across not just emails, but all channels too. It's called the 3/4 media ratio. Now, I've worked professionally in media before I even owned gyms as well. So this is actually done with a huge amount of research behind it as well. If you think of media companies, they want to advertise as much as they can to maximize their profits, period. Whether it's TV, radio, whatever they might be. So they do a lot of research into working out how much they can advertise basically without pissing their audience off. And the ratio is about 3-1. So on TV, every half an hour show, 22 minutes is the show, 8 minutes are ads. On radio, in a 1 hour block, about 45 minutes is show, 15 ads. On emails, approximately 3 non-sales emails to 1. To be clear, we're still sending sales emails, we're just making them less frequent. Same on Instagram. If you check right now, every 4th roughly is an ad. So we know this, and of course, you're a small business owner. You don't have to stick to this exactly, but just know this is the ratio that's well studied. So we want to replicate our content strategy across all channels, but also our email strategy to this as much as we can. In fact, I would argue you want to probably do more value than advertising. It still works. And I know because I've done it with my own studios as well. So, and the ways to this one too. I know I don't want to sound like I'm selling to my audience when it comes to emails. You're probably selling too frequently and prospect switch off. I'm going to keep coming back to this all the time. You've probably heard it. People are significantly more likely to purchase from people they know, like, and trust. A lot of people know this on their social media channel, but the same is true with emails. I really want to drill this point home because if you can build know, like, and trust through your emails, everything else becomes easier. And they buy through emails too. This is across every single channel. So I really, really want to nail this as much as you can. And if there's one key takeaway from this whole thing, it's this. Build the know, like, and trust into your emails. All right, let's work through a high-performing strategy in 2026 and beyond. You're sending emails far more frequently, 4 a month, 1 email per week. I would strongly recommend that alone will have a positive impact, period. Even if they're not perfect. You incorporate the know, like, and trust framework. Most of your emails are building 1 or 2 or 3 of these. You build in alignment to other marketing channels. They are not separate. When you do email campaigns, it helps your Facebook ads. It actually makes them go better. It helps your social media. It helps all of your other channels because you're more frequently in front of people. And the more frequently in front of people, the more likely they are to buy, and also the more likely they are to stay if you're doing retention. You add in stories, both personal and of your clients. People love stories. They buy into stories. You still want to write these emails to your key avatar in your area. Even though it's hard to segregate the audiences, you still want to do that. This one, I just love this marketing strategy. You want to make your business front of mind when they decide to look for a new gym. Not everyone right now is looking to buy a new gym membership. In fact, not a low percentage probably are looking right now today to buy a new gym membership. By being more frequently in front of people, whether it's through email marketing, whether it's through social media or ads, you become what's called front of mind, which means when I get to that point, I might not be looking right now, but if I get 10 emails from you and I see your ads, maybe in 3 months' time, I'll then look in the mirror one day, take my shirt off, and I'll go, geez, I need to get in shape. Oh shit, that Pete guy's been emailing me quite a bit. Maybe I'll see what they have on offer. That's front of mind. When they make the decision, they're in the purchasing environment. You want them to think of you, your business. And I want to try to pull you away from the brand of your business too. You know, I own F45 studios. I want them to be like Pete's F45 studio. That's when you have a really strong personal brand in your local area. And you can do it yourself through email marketing is probably the most powerful way to do it. And it helps the other ones too. So you want to become front of mind marketing for when they do decide to buy. And sometimes, going back to this top point, sometimes you just send the right message at the right time. Everyone tries to overanalyze which email worked, but sometimes the frequency just gets the right person at that right time when they feel they're most vulnerable, when they do want to buy a membership. And that's why this is so powerful, and just sticking to the plan is really important. And you want to follow the NCIST email structure framework. I'm going to show you what that looks like right now, and this is a really good way to write your emails. So this is my new framework with Apex, the NCIST, for writing emails. Now, I know you guys are slammed. You guys are busy. You don't have time to build this beautiful email. When I'm writing emails, I'll often write them with just text, and I'll often go to a cafe and do it, start of the day or something when I've got a bit of a better mood for it. And that way they know it's from me, and I follow this framework when I'm writing them. It's simple, it's easy to remember, and more importantly, it still gets people's attention and gets them bought into who you are. We're building know, like, and trust. So we're going to go through these one at a time. Now, remember, when you're writing any or doing any type of content, you're trying to get attention and bring them along the journey to get so that way they know you. So that's why it's written like this. So let's go through it. Steps. Number 1, we want a newsworthy headline. It's clickbaity. The purpose of the headline is to get them to click. You guys read the news. It's funny with the news articles, they have the same articles or same types of articles on repeat. If you look at the news cycle, they just repeat the same news articles. Obviously, the story changes, but the way they write the headlines are exactly the same. And there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't do this with your emails. A lot of the times people write long headlines, doesn't get their attention. It should be clickbaity. A really good litmus test for this, look at news articles and try to write your headlines like that. It should build intrigue. The top 7 ways to do this. You're not getting results unless you do this. Do you want those kind of things which get them interested? Now let's get to the copy of the headline. Copy of the email, sorry. Capture attention. The first 3-4 lines has to build intrigue. So you want to be basically trying to build intrigue in the email itself. So when they do click it, if it says, you're not going to be getting progress unless you do this. You want to be a little bit mysterious at the start of the email. Do you find yourself that you're not getting progress all the time? Does it bounce around? Do you find yourself getting busy? Do excuses come into it? If this sounds familiar, then read on. Just builds intrigue. Just builds intrigue there. There's a whole lot of ways you can do it, but the point of the first few sentences is to get them to want to read the rest of it. That's it. Remember, just doing one at a time. You can't go right down here unless you've got these ones. Now, this is where specificity comes into play with gyms. Issue and the next two are issue and story overcome. Now, the reason why these are important is because we want to have issues in these emails which are for our clients. So issues that our clients face or potential clients. Now, a really good way to actually build these out is if you coach or if you talk to your clients regularly, they'll ask you questions. They'll be like, I don't know what to eat. I find myself at work drinks. Those questions actually become most of my emails for gyms. Because I hear something in the studio, I'm like, that's a good email. And a lot of the people have the same issues. They're time poor, they've got kids, they work, they don't know what to eat, they find it hard to get the energy. There's all these things, they repeat, a lot of them. So the next one's issue or problem. And the way you just create the issue or the problem in there, and you might say the story. Do you find yourself stalling with progress in the colder months of winter? That's the issue. Story. Now, this can all overcome. Now, if this is you don't have to say names, but it could be someone at your actual studio itself. It can be you. They overcome it, or some way they can overcome. So you could be like, do you find yourself getting to the end of winter? I had a couple clients in winter who didn't want it to be an issue for them to losing weight at the toughest time of the year. They started training at the beginning of winter and they lost X amount of kilograms before the end of it. In other words, they lost weight during the worst time of the year. They're full-time people and they have kids, but they decided some cold weather was not going to be the thing that held them back from getting results. That's an overcome to the issue, which is winter. I'm just throwing some examples around. Now, I like to make these towards your target market. I know you can't segregate, or it's hard to segregate like parents as an example. My studio, mostly parents. And when I'm writing these, I try to relate the stories to people who work full-time, are parents, those kind of things, because they're the ones that relate the most to my own studios. The last one is the takeaway. What are they actually taking with this one? Don't let some winter months or some colder months be the challenge for you in order to get results. Attack them head on and just keep moving every single day. You will thank yourself for it. Stay healthy, Peter. That's the takeaway. Now, often when I'm writing these emails, I actually don't put a call to action or an offer. That sounds crazy. But what happens if they buy into the story and they've read it all the way? They'll actually reply back to me and say, hey, what do you have an offer? Every so often I will chuck one in where I will, at the bottom of the email, will actually put in a bit of a takeaway with it. Now, you don't have to stick to this format every single time. I'm just going to go back a little bit. But you do want to have your emails go into the know, like, and trust framework. Sometimes I'll just write a story about how someone crushed it, put a photo, that's it. Don't overthink these ones. I spend less than probably 20, 30 minutes on an email. From start to send. They're quite quick. I don't try not to make them too flashy. If you've ever done a newsletter, they take forever. We want to make these short and succinct. And then we want to send kind of 3 non-sales emails to 1 sales email. Ironically, when you do your sales email, it works better if you do this properly because they get more bought into you as a business. Now, if you want some, I don't have it here. If you want some examples of this framework of some emails, all you need to do is email me, peter@gymgrowthcoach.com, and I'll shoot some over so you can have some examples of these actually written for gyms, that for my ones that I've done in my own studio. So if you want some more examples, let me know, or you can drop it down in your email in the comments down below, or send me a DM, depending on where you're watching this. But I really want you to implement those into your business today. Now, I just want to reiterate, emails is such a powerful way for you to grow your business long term. It has been one of the things I've changed over the decade that I've been running gyms, and it has had probably the highest impact out of everything I've done, including Facebook ads, Google ads, all those types of things, because it's just been getting this consistent leads through my own database, which gets bigger and bigger each year as well. So I can't overemphasize how important it is to get this right and to do it properly, because you'll make more money from it. And it usually, for most people, doesn't cost anything additional to send more emails. If you want to go faster, guys, I'll send a link down below. You can book in a free call. I can take you through this plus other marketing channels and ways you can grow your business in 2026, or you can send me an email. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and just do me a big favor. After you watch this, please implement it. Send some examples. So send me some of your examples as well. But this is one that I would absolutely be doing week on week to grow your business. All right, let's get to work.